The Henderson family lived on Willow Creek Lane. Their house was pristine, white paint gleamed under the sun, the lawn, a perfect carpet of green. Roses climbed the porch trellis, vivid red. They were the envy of the neighborhood. Mr. Arthur Henderson was a respected architect. His designs were modern, clean, admired. Mrs. Eleanor Henderson chaired the town's charity committee. Her grace was legendary. Their smiles were always ready, always bright. Arthur Henderson, a pillar of the community. He spoke with calm authority. His suits were always immaculate, his handshake firm and reassuring. He projected an aura of control, complete unwavering control. Some found it comforting. Others perhaps a little unsettling. His eyes, a pale blue, rarely blinked. They observed, they assessed. But what did they truly see? What thoughts moved behind that composed facade? He moved through life with an unnerving precision. Eleanor Henderson, the perfect hostess. Her parties were legendary. She moved with an effortless elegance. Her laugh was like wind chimes, delicate, almost too delicate. She tended her rose garden with meticulous care. Her hands, though, were often hidden in gloves, even indoors sometimes. Her eyes, a warm hazel, sometimes held a distant look, a flicker of something unreadable, a shadow passing quickly. She was the picture of maternal warmth. Their children, Leo and Clara, were model offspring. Leo, 16, excelled in academics and sports, always polite, always responsible. Clara, 14, was a gifted pianist. Her melodies filled their perfect home. She was quiet, reserved. Both children were beautiful, both well-mannered, almost unnervingly so, like figures in a carefully arranged photograph. Seen, but perhaps not truly known. Their perfection was a mirror reflecting the family's ideal image. Public gatherings were the Henderson stage. They moved through crowds with practiced ease. Arthur would share a confident word. Eleanor, a charming smile. Leo and Clara stood by, poised and attentive. Admiration followed them like a shadow. Such a wonderful family, people would whisper, an inspiration. But if you watched closely for just a moment too long, you might see it. The slight tension in Arthur's jaw. The way Eleanor's smile didn't quite reach her eyes. Sometimes, a closed door in the Henderson house would muffle a sound. A sharp word, a thud, quickly silenced. If a guest happened to be present, Eleanor would offer a serene explanation. "Oh, that's just the old house settling," she might say. Or, "Leo dropped a heavy book, clumsy boy." Her voice never wavered, her composure remained intact, but the air would feel colder for a moment, the silence that followed, heavier. The house held its breath. Leo's bedroom was a testament to order. Books arranged by subject, trophies polished, his desk clear of any clutter. But under his bed, tucked away, was a sketchbook. Its pages were filled not with landscapes or portraits, but with dark swirling shapes, distorted faces, figures trapped in contorted poses. The lines were angry, desperate, a stark contrast to his calm exterior, a silent scream on paper. No one ever saw these drawings. Clara's diary lay on her nightstand, a beautiful leather-bound book. Most of its pages were blank, pristine, untouched. Then, abruptly, an entry appeared, written in a shaky hand. "He watches me when I sleep." The ink was smudged, as if by a tear, or a hurried, fearful movement. The next few pages were torn out, roughly, leaving only jagged edges. Who was he? The silence of the empty pages was deafening. Arthur Henderson often worked late. Important projects, he would say, deadlines to meet. He'd return home in the small hours. His briefcase, however, often seemed curiously light. His shoes sometimes carried a faint, earthy scent. Not the smell of the city office, more like damp soil or a freshly turned garden. He never offered details, he expected no questions. His routine was his shield, a shield against prying eyes. Eleanor found solace in her rose garden, or so it seemed. She spent hours there, pruning the blooms with sharp shears, deadheading spent flowers. Her lips would move as if in quiet conversation, not to the roses, it seemed, but to something unseen among them, or perhaps to something buried beneath them. Her devotion to the garden was intense, almost obsessive. The thorns on the roses were long and very, very sharp. At a neighborhood barbecue, the conversation turned somber. Another pet had gone missing, a cat from down the street. Arthur Henderson listened, his expression sympathetic. But as Mrs. Gable described her lost tabby, Arthur's hand tightened on his glass, just for a second. A barely perceptible tensing of knuckles. Then it relaxed. He offered words of comfort, but his eyes scanned the surrounding woods, a predatory stillness. Leo began to avoid his father's direct gaze. He would find reasons to leave a room when Arthur entered. Clara started flinching at sudden movements. A hand raised too quickly, a door slamming shut. Small things, tiny cracks appearing in the perfect veneer, easily dismissed, unless you were looking for them, unless you sensed the chill that emanated from the core of their perfect world. The unease was a subtle poison, spreading slowly. A new detective arrived in town. Detective Miles Corbin. He was quiet, observant. He had a knack for noticing things others missed. He started asking questions, not just about the missing pets, about old, unsolved disappearances, minor incidents that, when pieced together, formed a disturbing pattern. The Hendersons were, of course, impeccably polite, cooperative, almost too eager to assist. Their smiles were fixed, their eyes watchful. Detective Corbin paid a visit to the Henderson home. Arthur gave him a tour, showed him the immaculate rooms, the well-organized study, then, the basement. It was spotless, too spotless. A faint, lingering scent of bleach hung in the air. Arthur explained a recent plumbing leak. Had to disinfect thoroughly, he said, his voice smooth. Corbin nodded, but his gaze lingered on the new concrete patch in the far corner, freshly poured. As Corbin was leaving, Clara slipped past him in the hallway. Her eyes were wide with a silent terror. She pressed a small, folded piece of paper into his hand. So quick he almost missed it. Later in his car, he unfolded it. A single word, scrawled in childish handwriting. Garden. Eleanor's prize-winning roses. The vibrant reds and pinks suddenly seemed sinister. What secrets did the rich soil hold? What lay beneath the perfect blooms? The digging began the next morning. Under a warrant, under Eleanor's horrified gaze, Arthur stood stoic, unreadable. The shovels bit into the soft earth, disturbing the roots of the perfect roses. It wasn't old pipes they found, nor forgotten garden tools. It was bones, small bones, too small to be animal, several sets, the perfect family, maintained by the most imperfect means. Their roots ran deep into the darkest soil. The horror was finally unearthed.